Baseball on WSFA. We are now in the bottom of the sixth. The M Braves lead it by just one run. It's 2-1. Mississippi Braves on top. The Biscuits now here with another chance to either get the go-ahead run or tie this one up here in the bottom of the sixth. Joined now by voice of the Biscuits, Chris Adams-Wall. We're having some fun out here, Chris.
Yeah, we're having a great time. It's just going too quickly, unfortunately.
I know, these innings are going by so fast.
But here's our guy, Colby Rasmus at the plate.
We
Biscuits
were talking about him earlier.
rehabber, who hit a towering shot to right center field his first time up. And the ball somehow, when it was hit that high, ended up between the yellow line, which marks a home run, and the wall, which is the railing right in between those, as Rasmus grounds that one into the Mississippi dugout. Originally called a home run, but then
Right.
Connor Lean, the center fielder, and the right fielder, Keith Curcio, were waving their arms frantically, and they summoned Ryan Doherty, the first base umpire, out
They
there.
said,
And,
we're not going to let this big leaguer
Right.
get a home run here.
and so they sent Rasmus back to second, called it a ground rule double. Now the 1-1 is chopped foul to the right side. And I was talking with Colby earlier in the game, and I am a New York Yankees fan first and foremost. I know that's going to disappoint a lot of these Biscuits fans. I am a Rays fan as well.
Rays
but the
actually
Yankees,
just beat the Astros 6-3,
They
by
did.
the way.
Yankees are my first love, though. Colby Rasmus hit a big home run against the Yankees in the wild card game back in 2015,
Right.
and I was talking to him about that earlier today as the 1-2 pitch comes, and that's low 2-2. And I said to him, that was off of Masahiro Tanaka, wasn't it, the Yankees ace? And Rasmus just smiled. He said, yeah, not going to lie, that felt pretty good.
I
And
love
he hit the
that.
first home run. The Astros hit 3 solo shots in that game and eliminated the Yankees 3-0. 2-2. That's low, and the count is now full to Colby Rasmus.
We were also talking about, when he got, I will say, robbed of the home run, even though technically it wasn't.
Yeah.
But, and the Biscuits fans didn't like that much, rightfully so. How could you write a better beginning to his first rehab start back in quite some time?
He's a hometown guy as well.
Yep, that's
From
right.
Columbus, Georgia, not too far down the road. 3-2 pitch comes, and Rasmus can't catch it. He's down on strikes for out number 1. He won a national championship, though,
That's
at his
insane.
high school in Seal, Alabama,
Pretty cool.
where he hit the second most home runs of any high school baseball player in Alabama State history, behind, guess who, Bo Jackson.
Now, have you talked to him at all about what it's like to be back here in Alabama?
I talked to him about it a little bit. He says he knows a couple of folks down in this area. That was his lone sentence. We had to get him for his due-up on the big board. Very friendly guy, though. And here's Justin Williams. Talk about another friendly guy. Justin Williams.
He has one of the best personalities, I think, and he's so calm and so quiet, but he doesn't seem to be that way with the rest of the guys, and they told me he's not either.
He's not. He kind of stays to himself, but he laces this one into center field for a base knock and makes a large turnaround first. Almost slips, but he's on with his first hit.
He's also one of those guys that you're going to want to pay very close attention to this season. Could potentially see him in Durham this year. You never
That's
know.
right.
But he is a guy that has evolved, I think, very quickly in the minors.
He has, and he's got the power to show that. Hit 3 home runs in his first 7 games at the AA level last year. He's hit a couple out already this season. A very talented young man, just 21 years old, too.
That's also something so crazy to keep in mind is a lot of these guys are so young.
Oh, absolutely.
Take Brent Honeywell, for example, 22 years old, potentially going to be called up to the bigs this season.
Now O'Connor gives one a ride into right center field, and that'll split the gap. It's down for a base hit. Williams is going to be held up at third, but Justin O'Connor is into second base with a 1-out double, and the Biscuits are cooking here in the bottom of the 6th.
I don't really know if I should give this information out there, Chris, but just in the break you said we're going to win this game.
Oh, boy.
I don't want to say it yet, but I did. I
If,
had to.
if we don't score now, that's on you.
No, that's on you.
I think that's a double jinx, isn't it?
It might be.
Nice piece of hitting by Justin O'Connor, though, to go the other way into the right center field alley. And now it's Nick Schufo's turn as catcher Cade Civic goes and pays a visit to Patrick Weigel, the pitcher on the mound there for Mississippi. Cade Civic.
What a name.
Yeah. Well, I rode my Honda Civic into work today. And now we've
I
got
like
Civic behind the
Is
plate.
that how you remembered that today?
How else am I supposed to
Yeah, I
remember
mean,
these names?
This is true. But this is, we talked about this earlier. When Montgomery starts to hit the home run ball, or starts to even get something on, check this out. We've got runners on second and third, and now they threaten with only one out. There's a potential that we could see a tie here, maybe even some insurance.
Yeah, and if Nick Schufo, who's one of the hottest hitters in this lineup, can come through with a base hit, I think the Biscuits might have their first lead of the game as Weigel comes set. Now the 0-1. Schufo swings through it, and it's 0-2. Schufo, though, had a base hit, at least one base hit recorded in each of his first 12 starts, and that ended with his 13th start yesterday. But a 12-game hitting streak to begin your Double-A career. What more can you? Exactly.
He also told me that he added a leg kick.
He has.
Before his approach, before he goes to swing.
0-2 pitch.
Bat.
It's cut on and missed for strike 3, and there are 2 down.
And he's attributed the leg kick to a lot of the success that he's had at the plate. So he said, I'm not going to take that out now because ever since I added it in, I've been seeing the ball a lot better. I've been hitting the ball a lot better. So that's also something to keep in mind. Just changing simple things up at your approach at the plate could make a whole lot of difference.
Absolutely. You don't have to tell Jose Bautista that with the Toronto Blue Jays. Josh Donaldson as well. They employ the leg kick.
So the Blue Jays not doing so well.
No,
right
they're
now.
not. So Joey Bats might want to change that approach at the plate as Grant Kay steps up. Big moment still. Biscuits down 1 as the first pitch misses outside. They have runners at second and third, though, in O'Connor and Williams, the 2 Justins on this Biscuit roster.
Now Grant Kay, no home runs on the year, but he's still hitting .293 and knows how to drive him in. 2 RBIs so far with only 2.5 weeks into the season.
1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. Kay was actually the last guy on the opening day roster to record a hit for the Biscuits this season, but since that time, he has really turned a corner. Went 4 for 12 in the series against Jackson, had an RBI in the Biscuits' last game against them. Now the 1-1. There's a second strike. 1-2.
I wonder what Dan Dement thinks about all the success at the plate so far this year.
Well, I think Dan had the luxury of working with some pretty top-line prospects last year, and that's no disrespect to Dan. I mean, it's just who he had. Casey Gillespie, Jake Bowers, Willie Adames. These players are not them, so he might have his work cut out for him a little bit more this year.
But
he's done a great job so
right.
far. He's done fantastic. The players love Dan. I know Dan loves all the players on the team, and he is working them to death and trying to get everybody to do different things. He's been working with Justin Williams on hitting the ball the other way into left field, and Justin O'Connor as well, and Grant Kay, another one. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball is hit into left field for a base hit. Here comes Williams. O'Connor right behind him. Throw comes in, not in time, and going to second base with a 2-run single is Grant Kay on the throw. And guess who's on top? Biscuits 3, M-Braves 2.
You do that with a little side eyebrow because we just talked about the insurance that we could potentially see coming off the bat of the Biscuits. And how about Grant Kay driving in 2? Another RBI for him. You got a card on the board. What a beautiful hit to left just then. That is exactly what you want from him. And when you talk about the success at the plate, whatever he's changed, it's certainly working. Now we have another Biscuits player in scoring position and a meeting on the mound for the M-Braves.
Yeah, and it looks like Luis Salazar, Mississippi's manager, is going to take Patrick Weigel out of the game. But let's go to the replay of that last hit by Grant Kay.
Now check this out.
And he hung one to him. It was on a 2-2 pitch as well. Kay was a little out in front, but he got enough of it to dump it into left field. Both Justins score, and look at how fired up Justin Williams is.
I mean, and he was booking it from third.
He plays with more emotion, I think, than just about anybody on the squad. Anytime that he hits a double off the wall, it seems like he gets to second base and he just claps his hands as hard as anyone I've ever seen.
Which is so funny because when you talk to him, he is the calmest human being.
Incredibly subdued and unassuming, you would say, but then he starts getting those big hits.
You love that.
And there's a fire that's ignited, and we are going to see a pitching change here. The new pitcher on for Mississippi is going to be number 54, Jesse Biddle, left-hander, 6'5", 220 pounds, out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the Biscuits finally cracked Patrick Weigel. I knew they would.
So if you're McCarthy right now, what are you thinking? What are you trying to do here?
I think Joe's approach has been perhaps more further advanced than some of his teammates. He goes up there, he walks a lot, he fouls off a lot of pitches, he protects the plate, but he homered his last time up, no protection there. I think Joe will just try to hit one into right field and try to pad this Biscuit lead. But of course, the big problem this year for the Biscuits has been the bullpen. They've had the lead entering the bottom of the 8th inning several times this season, but most recently twice against Birmingham, once against Jackson, and they have not been able to hold those leads. The one that comes the most to mind is on Wednesday when the Biscuits were up 7-3 against Jackson entering the bottom of the 8th.
Right.
They let up 4 runs that inning, 7-7 game, then they lost it in the bottom of the 9th, so hopefully we'll get a better turnout from the bullpen tonight. Alvarado looked good in his first inning. We'll see how he does in the second. But now it's Biddle on to face Joe McCarthy in a lefty-lefty matchup with Grant Kay down at second. First pitch is just off the plate for a ball.
You saw this a couple of frames ago. I just want to make mention of whoever is working that camera. We just saw a political reporter for WSFA, Michael Downa, enjoying the game. So I also want to credit all of the people who make this stuff happen, Chris. It's not easy. It's awesome having all of this, and we wish we could have it more, but being able to do this. How do you like the TV side of things? You're normally on the radio side. How do you like it?
I love it because you're just adding captions instead of describing every significant detail, every little detail, really. There's a strike from Biddle, and the count is 1-2. Yeah, you guys and your TV magic, though. It's incredible.
Now you don't tell anyone what magic goes
I'm
down.
sorry.
You can't give away the TV secrets.
My lips
Chris.
are sealed. My lips are sealed. Don't worry.
No, Chris does a great job on the Biscuits radio, and he has definitely done such a great job over the past few years that he's been here. Obviously, you're following up some pretty good footsteps as well.
Yeah, Joe Davis being one of them. He just took over for Vince Scully with the Dodgers, and Joe McCarthy is down on strikes. But the Biscuits add a couple of runs on the 2-run, 2-out single on a 2-2 pitch. Grant Kay coming through with those 2 RBIs, and it's 3-2 Biscuits now. They have their first lead as we go to the 7th.